We're gonna get the beef and put it in the bowl. I've prepared my pan where I'm going to cook my onions. So whilst I'm doing this, I'm gonna get the onions in. So I'll let the onions cook whilst I'm making the meatballs. So here we go. We're gonna mix the beef into our ingredients. Gonna make the meatballs. And by the way, if you want to make like a simple or half of that, you just have all the ingredients. So we're gonna make our meatballs. But don't forget guys, all my onions are cooking. So these onions are for making the sauce. So with all what I'm gonna show you, after the onions are nicely browned up, I'll put tomatoes. You can use fresh tomatoes, but this requires a lot of tomato sauce. So I've got, like, this is 400 grams, so I'm using 2 of that. Plus I'm gonna add in some tomato puree. You want them to be a bit almost similar size because you're going to cook them at the same time, and you don't want one cooked, another one is not cooked. So that should be also the same size. And my onions have nicely caramelized. So what I'll do, I'll just chuck in all the chopped tomatoes and about a tablespoon of tomato puree. So mix all that nicely together. So I'd say if you have nice fresh tomatoes, you would use them, because fresh tomatoes, as you know, they taste better. Give it a couple of minutes just to let it just cook a little bit, and then what you're gonna do after that is to blend this. So that's my potatoes, they're boiling. I'm gonna serve it with mash. Now your next step, here's the meatballs ready. Your next step is to prepare a frying pan. Get it on the heat, high heat, with a bit of oil, not too much, but just a touch to stop it from sticking on the pan. Be on high heat so that when you put your meatballs, they get that nice brown coating on either sides. So it's all happening now. Look, there's the tomatoes, here's the mash. Now that my pan is ready, I'll get them balls in. Can you hear that nice sound? So don't overcrowd them, give me a bit of space. I'll take you about 2 minutes, I should say. 2 minutes on each side. And that'll be like about 4 minutes for them to get the color you want. What you're looking for. Ooh, yum. And so that's the next batch of the meatballs. So that's our beautiful meatballs, guys. You need all that coating on the pan. So what do you do after blending the tomatoes? You get that tomato sauce and just work it in that pan. Try and scrape all that stuff. That will give you great flavor. So the next thing is to blend these tomatoes here. What you're gonna do is take some of that sauce and put it in the pan. which you use to cook the meatballs. Your aim here is to scrape all that stuff from the meatballs, just to create that nice flavor, you know. What I'm gonna do is to fill this pan with all the meatballs. If you're working and you make a good batch like this, I'll save you a lot of time during the week. Yep, I'll top it up. So that's all my meatballs in there. Make sure they are covered in the sauce. So here I'll give them like 15 minutes. So that's it. And don't forget to add the salt. Meatballs and mash ready.